Welcome to Crazy Land. It's Love Them Knives channel, and we do love them knives. What do we got? We got the twins. We got twins, although they're not really twins, are they? Look at them. They are different. Yeah, baby. I'll tell you what. It pays to live in Florida, especially if you're like only 80 miles away from where Liong Mah lives. Yikes. Yeah, I had lunch with him last year too when I moved down here, and it feels good. It feels good to be close to that many really good knives. And you know, I said, Leon, I missed the drop on the field duty 3.5. Help me! And he's like, dude. But we had lunch together recently. We had lunch last summer. It was freaking hot because we sat outside on the picnic tables. Barbecue, pepper and salt barbecue, Vero Beach. If you're in that area, give it a shot. Really good, like I think Texas style barbecue. Pitmaster is also a knife enthusiast. I mean, go figure. It must have been chosen by the gods for us to meet there. But so this year I brought the wife with me, and so, you know, all I got to say, it's a little strips and a hole in the wall. Parking, almost no parking around there. But Leon's the fat guy, and I'm the really cool looking dude. Or, never mind. Okay, but Leon, he's got, is that burlap micarta? I can't remember. But there's the Arctic Storm. Buttholes carrying right here. Yeah, but that's okay. Because I scored. And you know what? These are not inexpensive knives, I figured out. And my wife was sitting right there looking at me across the table when, what are these? How much do these sell? Oh, man. Ran to the ATM, pulled out hundreds of dollars. But one of them is going to my buddy Sean, who lives over in the Cape Coral, so clear over on the west coast of Florida. And so he says, while you're over there, could you grab my replacement? Because I sent mine back because the detent was really weak. And I go, oh, okay. Well, let me check them out. So I checked them out when I was there and saying, is this really weak ass? Shit, is this? Oh, I got it. Okay, so this is really weak detent on this one. This one, my arm fell off. So no, I'm just kidding. This one's not as strong. No, this one's not as strong. So I'll send him the one with more strength to it, because apparently that was his thing. And what is this? Number 92. And what is this one? Number 121. Okay, so he gets a lower number too. And I did all the driving. But, let's take these away. Okay. We had it all beautifully packaged. But then I ruined it. Actually, I like the pattern on his better than I like on mine too. So, yikes. But these are very different. This field duty, of course, he had the field duty, the full-size one with the 3 3/4, 3.8, whatever inch blade, big dog. I had one in my knife sale for January. And why I didn't scoop that, because it didn't sell in the Patreon round. It sold later, I think. Somebody picked it up, and so they got a hell of a deal. But this is a 3.5, so this is not as big. Boy, that blade, the edge of that blade just kissed the edge of my skin. Okay, yeah. I was thinking, wow, I could feel that it was sharp. I could feel it touch there. Okay, yeah, it's sharp. Okay. But I'm going, I shouldn't do that again. There's your drop. It's nice. It's got that kind of orange peel on the bolster. And then these are the hand-rubbed blades. And Leon was telling me 6 a day. So you're a guy at the place doing 6 a day. That's it. You can do 6 of these in a day because how long it takes to do this on the blade. So there's labor involved there. It's a front flipper. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I could have skipped that. I'm not the world's most appreciative on front flippers, but it is what it is. And also it's got a pocket clip that's ambidextrous, so you can unscrew this, you can kick it over here and put it up, so left or right hand. And then if you look at the pivot, there's no entry here. There is here, but I kind of like this little tri-way. Looks like the internals of a rotary engine, doesn't it? In a way. So, big old cutaway on the blade here. I mean, Riot makes a nice knife. I mean, there's no question about that. Yeah, it's pretty seamless. Oh, that's like glass. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I know, they're just expensive. And I've had the eraser, and I had the field duty, and then I ended up getting either traded out or somebody had to have it, and blah, blah, blah. And it was a weak moment for me, whatever. So, these are 2 of the Arctic Storm fat carbon, and they're different. The pattern's different on them. Which is interesting because probably no 2 are going to be the same, right? And in the pouch, by the way, there's all kinds of goodies, and I guess I didn't really check it out that much when I was having lunch with him, but okay, so what this is a microfiber cloth. So that's interesting. And then kind of in that, in the bluish Arctic fiber, Arctic Storm. And then here's this little patch that's a Velcro patch. Another thing in the form of the knife Arctic Storm. And then, of course, the card. Okay. And then this little titanium tag that goes with it that identifies it. Okay, titanium handle, Arctic Storm, carbon fiber, number 92, 175, December of 22. Okay, and here's this. So this is number 92. So I got to keep all these together with the correct tag. But that's what comes in the pouch. Now, you know what? The Field Duty is one of my favorite models that he makes. I'm not a big fan of the Warrior stuff. I don't know why. I like the L1 Lanny. I like that kind of stuff. And then I like this, and I like the eraser. And I was telling him he needs to do the eraser again in carbon fiber, or fat carbon fiber, and then do it in this liner lock thing. And this liner lock whole situation, he told me, was a real effort. Okay, this is a real big manufacturing effort because it changes a lot of things that you would do. If you were just going to do a frame lock, this would have been so much easier. But this being this kind of a liner lock, and of course, let me grab my magnet. Okay, yeah, that liner is titanium, obviously. Oh, well, there's steel in, well, there's blade, but, and we'll feel it out as we go, but nah, none of these, nah, the hardware's all titanium, backspacer, liner. Okay, so the thing is that, then I go, well, so have you got a hardened steel insert in there? And he goes, no, they carbonize the end. So, I mean, that's the answer, right? So if you carbonize the end of the liner, you've hardened it, it should prevent any kind of lock stick. So, okay, so you can do that as opposed to put in a hardened steel insert. And you're free to throw your comments in as you see fit on that, because to my knowledge, carbonizing the end of there is is an answer to dealing with that. And I'm not getting any kind of lock stick, and this is really smooth. And this is okay being 3.5-inch blade as far as I'm concerned. The ergos are great. The ergos are great on this knife. And then this jimping on top, you can feel it, but it's not overly aggressive. Really, it's nice with the hand satin because it's not too shiny. It's sophisticated looking, but as opposed to maybe like a bead blast, which there's another one that's kind of a real light bead blast thing that they can do. So that's some of the other knives that are available, and they were in different, types of handle materials, etc. But yes, and then the backspacer, nice long backspacer, and then of course this nice little fuller running up and down the backspacer, or whatever you want to call it, to, kind of give it a little bit of interest as opposed to just a standard, backspacer. And lefties, they feel a little love too because they can flip the clip, and yet it's still like a nice looking machined type clip. Okay, goes in and out of the pocket just fine. It's centered. No lock, rock, or blade play. It's insane. Yeah, of course. hell. And then you can move up on here if you want. So there's good purchase there. Let me see where there's my balance point. And there's your lockup. It's 25%, I'd say. The liner doesn't look overly heavy, but I think it's, since it's titanium, it looks pretty adequate to be able to lock it up. I don't think I'd go around trying to baton this through a 4x4 or anything. Not for what I paid for it. It's going to be proud carry. And you know what? This is nice. I think this is probably going to be a long-term keeper for me for a while, just to carry and enjoy, because I never really carried my first field duty that much. And my eraser, I didn't carry it much either because I wanted to keep it really nice. But I think this deserves a lot of pocket time. And what the hell, M390, S90V, I'm so used to everything's M390. No, this is S90V, and he's been doing that for a while, I've noticed too. So I trust Riot for heat treat, and so this is a super steel. Wow, it really feels smooth. Nice little drop to it. I think if you get up, see what I'm saying? You won't cut yourself if you get into this area. See what I'm saying? If it'll even drop all the way to you like that. Yeah, well, okay. And then, yeah, it's not guillotine-ish, but, yeah, it's just right. Now, I haven't played with this one yet, and I was warned by my buddy Sean saying, you go to take this apart, there's going to be a lot of screws and parts because of the complexity. And, that was what Liong was saying. This took some effort, and this took some exactitude to make, because these slabs had to be 1/4 inch thick, and then they're contoured, they're machined, and then as we get into taking this apart, we will look that, so you have to machine out areas because these are nested. These liners are in here. So you got to make way for that. And there's, and the bolsters, etc. Apparently there's more screws and things that are hidden inside. So this becomes much more daunting to do this. And so this was the kind of the first effort. And I don't know if this has discouraged him from wanting to do any other models with this liner lock look. But I told him I really like it because the back side looks like the front side. And I love that. I mean, I don't need somebody to take a damn saw and cut the titanium frame, okay? I know it's called a frame lock. I get it, but I'm a bit burned out on that. I'm good with give me an axis lock, give me a liner lock, give me a lock back, give me a shark lock, give me a whatever. But I'm just getting a little, you know. No point in cutting perfectly good bolsters when you don't need to. And I really like this. I do. So, and now this is smooth. And let me get my tape measure because you may go, well, is that really 3.5 inch? It's all of that, my friend, isn't it? It's really 3.6. And it's at 93, 94 millimeters, depending on where you are. And you drop down here, you're almost 3 3/4. Overall, though, just 8 1/8, isn't it? At 20.5 centimeters. So that's really a lot of blade. That's a lot of blade in that handle. And so, yeah. You know what? You think back on Liong Mah, what he had the Model 18. Of course, that celebrated. I remember getting the Model 15 too years ago. But Model 18 celebrating 18 years of him doing this. And of course, 9-year-old boy living in Malaysia with his family gets moved to New York City. And that can't be easy. That can't be easy. And really kind of put his head down and worked hard doing this. And I mean, he's been in knife shops and he's cut steel and done this and that, but he's not a knife maker, no. But I mean, to have the experience of being in the shop and at different shops of people who are custom knife makers and dealing with that, but gives him more insight into when he's designing. But I mean, he's telling me this becomes very difficult to do from, just a custom maker's perspective to get the kind of precision from, over the span of 200 or 300 or 400 knives. You know what I'm saying? We're not just making a one-off. So yeah, I understand. But Riot, they got it down, and he's been working with them for a long time. So, wow. And a lot of different models. I guess designer is an actual job, isn't it? I mean, you don't have to build it to design it, correct? I mean, like if you design cars for GM, you're not building the car, but you're a designer, right? You're designing landscapes, you're designing houses, you're not building them, you're designing them, you're a designer. Designer clothes, designer whatever, So, because I go, well, yeah, I worked on designing a knife myself, Leon. So, and he goes, it's great because it's a country where there's a lot of opportunity. And this is one of them, where you can do this now and you can design, you can have the product made and see your design come to fruition. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Let's see how difficult this is going to be. I mean, I'm doing this cold on camera. This could be maybe not advisable for most people. So we cracked the heads. Okay, we're done. We're good. Is that an 8? That's an 8 as well. And I'll guarantee you these scales have got to come off because I'll guarantee you there's screws under there somehow or another. And boy, these are all number 8s. Okay, kick your butt out of here. Okay. And let's see if this one at the end is any kind of different length or if it's the same. No, that's definitely different. There's pocket clip. Okay, here's another scale screw, which we had to take the pocket clip off to do that. So, and there's you. And that looks like the same size. Thank God for that small favor. So we've got a scale. Is that good enough? Are we happy? Are we done with the disassembly? Now, are these 6s? They kind of look like it. Yeah. So we got internal screws, which is not that unusual for whatever. So, okay. So you got them. Is one longer than the other? No, they're the same. Okay. Now what are we into? Will this come away, or we got something else going on in here? Plastic, baby. A little plastic fid. This just had to tilt like that to kind of come up off of this pivot. Alrighty then. Okay, so we have a ceramic detamp ball, and we've got a screw that's holding this liner into the titanium bolster. Well, it's titanium liner too, right? Oh yeah, baby. And you know what? There we go. We've got something actually metallic. That's it. And nothing else is attracting the magnet. Wow. Okay, so this is our lock side. I thought this was going to be difficult. Sean, he's a liar. And so I was expecting something a little bit more complicated, but you know what? Can you imagine? Yeah. No. This isn't like just a standard frame lock or liner lock. This is a bit more of a difficulty here, isn't it? Yeah. Let me take a look at this pivot. Okay, what do we got? So, okay, that's where it goes in. And since it's, got 3 lobes, it's got the Mazda rotary engine in here. And so, yeah, it's going to hold it in place. It ain't going to move, is it? So, yeah. And let's take a look at this. Looks pretty clean. Yeah. And this is mine, so he doesn't have to freak out or anything that I'm having to disassemble a knife. Yeah, these are nice. They're not multi-row, but they're pretty decent size. And, I like them like this and or the multi-row. But, yeah, that's pretty good all the way around. Okay, it's centered. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, she's dropping all right. Now, did I get it tight enough? Oh, there ain't no play. There ain't no play. Okay, so I guess I can put the pocket clip back on. Wow. Come on, get you on there. Oh, and you. And where are you? That's where you are. Okay. It's a sizable enough screw. Okay. Woo! Yeah. Front flip, no problem. Yeah, and you know what? You don't want to get a knife a whole lot bigger than this and make it a front flipper, because I don't think so. I mean, my own personal opinion, because you gotta hold it kind of in a precarious manner. And I mean, you got to get your fingers out of the way of the blade, right? But you still got to get your thumb up here where you can kick it open. And so if you've got I don't know, like a 4-inch blade, 9 inches overall length, you're really pushing the limits. This one at 8 1/8 with a 3.6-inch blade, I think that's enough. I wouldn't want to do the, a 4-inch bladed field duty as a front flipper. I mean, not me personally. This is fine though. And also the fact that this blade is fairly tall. This is different than if you have some like little Ostapel front flipper that's real thin, and easy to kick. But this one is taller. The field duty is just more of a real handful type knife, isn't it? And speaking of handful, yeah, see, 0.56 of an inch at 14.4 millimeters, 3.6 millimeters at 0.14 of an inch on the blade thickness. So this is not a gent carry in my book. I mean, this is a handful of a knife, yet it's not too bad, and it doesn't feel all that heavy. But I guess I should have done some of this math earlier in the video. But it's 148 grams, okay? So if we roll it back around to ounces, and let's see if we can get down, 5.23, okay. I mean, see, this is contoured, and it's thicker, and it's robust, and it feels good in the hand. I mean, it fills the hand, it feels good. Pocket clips, you can feel them if you put your hand in the right place, but this one kind of goes right in this little crease here when I pull it in. And so, no, I don't really notice it. Yeah, I think, it's fully, it's going to be appreciated by the lefties too, because other than the liner, it's ambidextrous. You can flick it left, right, front flip it left, right. Pocket clip can go left, right. So yeah, there's good. Yeah, that's a good point on doing this to try and appeal to everybody, and the fact that they didn't make this as a 9-inch overall length knife, even though I like the full-size field duty. This will appeal to more people, and this is enough. This is enough of a blade to really appeal. Maybe too much for some people still. You may still be pushing it a bit. But I appreciate this. This does feel big enough to be full-size knife. Get all my hand on here. Jump up here. Big, tall blade. Yeah, and it's smooth. It's really smooth. Yeah, I got 2 of them right now. That's pretty damn good. But this one's gotta go west. Gotta go west. And so I wanted it around to do this video, but and to also compare how they felt in the hand, all that kind of thing. And for continuity, and that's what you're trying to get when you do a run of knives, right? Manufactured high-end, manufactured knives, you need that continuity. You need them to be all as similar as possible with fit and finish and the feel, the ergos, just everything about them. And you know what? If anybody's knives meet that mark, it's Liong Mah. I mean, all the knives I've ever had were just beautiful, smooth. They're not inexpensive. That's the other end of the equation, though. But I guess you get what you pay for. So I'll leave you to it. The field duty, one of my 2 most favorite designs from Liong Mah, this and the eraser. And so I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to have one. Take care, my friends. We are Love Them Knives, so you guys stay sharp.